am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy show right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. I don't know why I always make people laugh when I do that. They be like, oh, Lord, she crazy. But right here on Candid Conversation, where we have real people, real topics, and real stories. Candid Conversation. Woo, what a day, what a day. How you doing?
I'm amazing.
Amazing?
Thank you. Amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
That's good. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to introduce you in just a moment. I have a wonderful guest today. But before we get started and go any further, I just want to let you know I am Coach Stacy, certified life coach, speaker, and author, and I empower women and a few select men to dominate in their purpose. My testimony of overcoming domestic violence, cancer, and many traumatic experiences excuse me, makes me passionate about helping people struggling with wanting to give up on themselves. So not only have I broken free, but I have helped countless other people walk boldly and authentically in their purpose over the last 10 years as a life coach. And right here on Candid Conversation, we have amazing guests who come on and share impactful stories, books, and testimonies. And I really just believe that it's important to share your story because you never know who's listening and watching you. And you never know how your story can help someone overcome and give them hope. So we share stories here on Candid Conversation, and today we have an amazing guest who is going to share a piece of his journey. Today we are going to talk about who he is, what he does, and how he is impacting lives. But first, let me let you guys know what all the noise is going on in the background. We are live on location at the Hosea Helps Back to School Jamboree right here in downtown Atlanta at the, well, I don't think this is downtown. Is this downtown?
It's like Camp Creek near the airport area. It's like an
airport area?
Yeah.
Okay. But we're at the Georgia International Convention Center, and this event was designed to provide low-income families with necessary backpack with backpacks filled with school supplies for the kids going back to school in a couple of days.
Right.
School is in, guys. School is back in.
School is back.
I'm so happy.
Right.
I'm so happy. My refrigerator boy gonna be happy too.
Absolutely.
You know, I got 4 boys. My refrigerator's about to be too happy.
Absolutely.
But first, so I want to let you guys know what Hosea Help's mission is. Their mission is to investigate and then raise public awareness about the many problems that are facing families and individuals who are at risk of slipping into poverty or that are living in poverty, and then to mobilize financial resources, products, and volunteers to help solve those problems or to ease the burden that those problems can cause. So I want to give it up for Hosea Helps right now in the building. They're having fun over there on stage. I want to go over there. Kids performing. They're having a good time over there. But we're going to have a good time right here too as we get to talk about Mr. Marquell Russell.
Yep.
Drum roll. Hey! How y'all doing today? Yes, but before I do that, you guys know I'm not in the studio, so I can't see who's messaging, but I still want to give y'all some shots out. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for always supporting Candid Conversation. I want to give a shout out to the B5. Y'all leave me alone by my pictures. Okay. But thank you all for tuning in to Candid Conversation today. And for all of you in Atlanta, I would like to invite you out to my grand opening party, August 2nd at 6 p.m., the party where it is all about you. We're going to have some good food. We're going to have some good fun. We're going to have some good cocktails. I just need you guys to come out and support this well event. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to give away 2 tickets. I think I should give away 2 tickets. And then for each ticket, you can bring a free guest with you.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Sound real good.
Well, so what I'm going to do is, for the 5th person and the 7th person that sends me a text message to the number I'm going to give you, and they say, what I think I should say? Say, go Coach Stacy. How about that?
That's good.
That's
I
good.
like that.
That's good.
I like that.
Okay, so dial 404-947-3612. Okay? The 5th text message and the 7th text message, you will win 2 free tickets to my upcoming grand opening. You are not going to want to miss it. We're having live music, good food, good cocktails, and a little bit of coaching on the side. How about that?
Nice.
You like that?
I like it.
404-947-3612. 5th and 7th text message. Go Coach Stacy. So, moving on from that took a lot of breath. I'm already tired. We've been hyped down here. I'm so excited for the Back to School Jamboree. It's always a good thing to get out into your community and do things to give back and to help others. So it's an amazing blessing right now. So let me introduce Mr. Markel. Am I saying it right?
Marquell.
Marquell. I said it right.
You said Markel.
His name is not Markel.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm used to it.
His name is Marquell.
Marquell.
Marquell Russell. He's amazing, too.
Thank you.
So after coming from very humble beginnings and growing up in a drug-infested environment and dropping out of school in the 10th grade, Marquell is now the secret weapon for coaches who want to attract, convert, and enroll more of their dream clients at higher prices. And so while enjoying more freedom and creating greater impact using his ACE method, he specializes in helping clients craft irresistible premium-priced offers and creating automated client attraction systems that do the selling for you. Establish your authority and enroll happy, high-paying dream clients on a consistent and predictable basis. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
You're doing a lot out there.
You're doing a lot.
And I ain't done. This is the part I like. When he isn't traveling the world with his family or watching cartoons.
Right.
He really got that in his bio,
right.
y'all. Or watching cartoons. He's empowering inner city at youth at risk youth, and he now spends his time working, helping coaches apply the same methods and systems he used to go from zero to borderline homeless. Been there, huh?
Been there.
Been there, done that myself.
For sure.
That's good. That's good. To building his multi-million-dollar coaching and training company. And I just want to welcome you, my dear brother, for coming on the show today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate it.
That's good.
Thank you. Guess
what else? He's an author.
Yes.
He's written 2 books. So we're going to talk about his books in a minute.
Cool.
But I just want you to share with the audience a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So I'm Marquell Russell, obviously. And basically, right. So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And I guess the abridged version is I was in the streets early on in my life. I dropped out of high school. My mom raised me and my 2 sisters by herself. So the typical story, right? So I dropped out, got in the streets full time, started going to jail, had my first son when I was 19, and then kind of was like, I'm going to get out the streets and do this thing right. So I got a job working at Petro, changing oil and tires on big 18-wheelers. Did that for about 2 weeks, and I'm like, I can't do it. Right. So I went back to the streets. But then I started an entertainment company because I saw people who I looked up to growing up, like Master P and Jay Prince and those guys. They came out of the streets and started entertainment companies. So I did the same thing, had some artists I was managing and so forth. So I was doing that and we was doing well. And we started doing club promotions and things of that nature around the city. While hanging out in hanging out in the club one night, a guy pitches me on network marketing, Chad, who was talking about earlier, right?
Just pitched it out of nowhere in the club.
In the
Them
club.
Network marketers be getting it in.
Wherever, right? Anybody within 3 feet of you, right? So I'm in the club. He pitches me on this thing. I didn't know what it was. I went to the meeting, jumped in head first. And that was like my exposure to like real legitimate entrepreneurship, seeing other people who look like me having success.
Right.
I got introduced to personal development, Jim Rohn, Miles Monroe, all these guys. And it really just shifted everything for me. So from there, the business was okay. You know, it didn't happen like they said it was going to happen. You know, they told me all I had to do was get 2. And then they was going to get 2, and then they was going to get 2, and then they was going to get 2. They ain't work like that.
It didn't work like that.
Yeah, so I ran out of people to talk to and was like, how do I get more people? And they were telling me, hey, just talk to anybody who comes in 3 feet of you. And I'm like, okay. After that, then what? So then somebody introduced me to online marketing. So I started.
And that changed the whole game.
Changed the whole game for me. So that showed me how to start generating leads and attracting people to me who was already interested. So I went in head first with that, started having a lot of success. People started having me speak on stages, paying me a lot of money to teach them what I was doing, and then I just focused on just growing my coaching and training company.
Amazing.
And then that's what brought us here today.
Amazing. And that's an amazing story.
Thank you.
And I know I'm jumping ahead of myself with what I want to talk about today as far as entrepreneurship, but you said like a key word when you just said And people, sometimes you got this a group of people that don't like network marketers. They're like, okay, here they come trying to sell me on their business.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the key thing. You started learning how to attract who already wants what you have to offer.
For sure.
And that is what's key.
That's the key.
That's what's key.
That's the key.
I remember being in network marketing myself, and someone told me, like, I don't see you advertising on your page a lot, and you don't do this because I don't do it that way.
Right.
I attract who already wants it. I'm not going to beat you up. I may ask you. I might.
Right.
And if you don't have any interest, I move on. Mm-hmm. I try to get around the people who want what I have to offer.
That's
so you said something really, really important there.
That's the key.
Really important there. Before I get on, because I know you got an event coming up soon, and we're going to talk about that, but I want to talk about your books.
Cool, let's do it.
The first book this your first book?
No, that's my first like official business book.
Okay, your first. Oh, you wrote some more books.
Yeah, the other one that was more like it wasn't necessarily business. But
see how they do? They get you on camera and all kind of stuff.
Plug and everything. Huh?
I'm like, I post. I knew this.
Right.
Okay, so here's your first business book, The Millionaire Expert. I haven't read it yet, but I am definitely going to dig into it. You guys check it out. Tell us a little bit about The Millionaire Expert.
So basically, it's in a nutshell, it's basically just a blueprint of how like coaches, consultants, experts, like how they build $1 million empires around their knowledge and expertise. So everybody knows something about something, and I tell people that it's more money in what you know than what you do. So you gotta know how to package it up.
That's right.
And then offer it to the world because everybody got a message, everybody has a gift, but how do you monetize it?
Right.
So that's kind of the blueprint of how you monetize it. How do you find people to pay you? The daily habits of millionaires, the whole nine. And it's more like a study guide versus just a book, because at the end of each chapter, it's action steps.
Okay.
So at the end of it, you
really?
Yeah, for sure.
See, I like the books like that.
Right.
They tell you what to do.
They show you what to do.
They don't just tell you what happened.
Right.
They tell you how to get the same result.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. I want it to be like actionable. Like, here's how you do it to get this specific result.
I like that. And then now you got this next book coming out soon, right?
So this is actually out. So that's the Breaking the Cycle.
Okay.
So that one is for the youth. So it's for the youth, but a lot of adults tell me to get a lot out of it as well. So it kind of was inspired from my youth program called I Am Breaking the Cycle.
Okay.
Where it's all about just showing the youth, like, how do you create the life you want? Like, how do you don't have to go to jail, you don't have to be in gangs. There's other ways. If you want to make a lot of money, there's other ways you can do it legitimately.
Right.
And then how do you shift the mindset, the thinking, and all that so forth. So a lot of people say, how do we get these guys out the streets? And how do we, get them on the right track and all this? So that's kind of the blueprint.
Wow.
How we go about it. How I was able to do it and get to where I am now is kind of like my blueprint of what I did.
I like the tagline here: the ultimate guide to destroy poverty, crime, and fatherlessness. That's deep right now.
For sure.
And it's something that's much needed.
Definitely.
And that's what kind of drew me to you, as I saw how you go out and you do a lot of work with the youth.
Right.
And that's important and much needed right now, especially someone coming with 4 boys, single mom. It's a struggle sometimes. I thank God for the boys that I have, and I haven't had any issues, but I know that there are many families out there that are struggling with a lot of families set up that way. So
Absolutely.
It's much needed. Hats off to the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
I have this question here. So I do know that you will be at the Gathering Spot on Monday.
Right.
And it's going to be about the Anti-Gun Summit. Is that what it is?
Yes. So it's an Anti-Gun Summit, and basically it's about just really how do we come together and bring some solutions? Because we hear a lot about the problems with the youth, right?
Right.
But what's the solutions? Anybody, like, let's forget about talking about the problems. Let's talk about the
solutions.
Right.
That's right.
Because people say crazy stuff like, well, the youth of the day, they're crazy, they don't get it. All this stuff about the youth, but it's like, that's the same stuff I used to hear when I was growing up.
Right.
So I was telling a buddy of mine, like, they ain't saying nothing about the youth different than when we was growing up.
Same thing.
We just so far removed from it.
Yes.
But they were saying the same thing about us. They probably were saying the same thing about the generation before.
And they was.
But, like, instead of talking about it, like, let's figure out what's the solutions. How do we plug them into the right solutions? So that's really what it's more of a conversation than anything.
And so who is the conversation going to be with?
Youth. It's going to be youth and adults. So we got a lot of, like, state officials and county officials and stuff like that that's going to be there. We got some guys who done did like prison time are going to be coming. We got some other guys who do community work who have solutions. My guy Keith from I'm a Father First. He's really putting the whole thing on.
Okay.
We got 107.9.
Keith is amazing.
You know Keith?
Yeah,
Keith Lewis?
yeah.
That's my guy. So he's spearheading the whole thing. He's connected with 107.9. They're coming out. So it's going to be a really good thing. He's partnered with the Gathering Spot, obviously. So it's about just bringing the solutions. You remember Teen Summit on BET?
Yes, I do remember Teen Summit.
We want to kind of bring that type of feel so we can actually get the kids into the conversation versus just talking to them. So it's going to be really good.
Okay, so the kids are going to be in the conversation.
That's the goal.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. I think I might come check y'all out.
Yeah, you should come too.
It's at the Gathering Spot. Tell everybody where it's going to be.
The Gathering Spot is like right down by in the Georgia State area.
I
not
know
Georgia
where
State,
it's
but
at. Tell them about
the
event to be there.
Oh, so the
event.
Yeah. So ultimately, the biggest thing we want to do is like, for example, the other day we was watching the news and it was like 200. It was like they said 217-year-olds has been put in Fulton County Jail on Wright Street, not that far from here. 217-year-olds.
Wow.
So typically, they say 1 in 3 young men are going to go to prison. And once you go to jail the first time, it's a great chance you're going to go over and over again. Yeah. So how do we do it? Like, how do we get them some other solutions? You know, how do we connect with them, get them on the right track? So that's what we're going to be doing at the Gathering Spot, actually coming with real solutions. So if you got kids, you got access to kids, you got a heart for kids and really want some real solutions, be there, bring your solutions, and we're going to put it all on the table. And we're going to walk away with an action plan. Right. Not just talking about it and everybody arguing and everybody acting like they know what it is.
So the next generation won't hear the same thing this last generation heard like we heard.
Exactly. Because the last thing I'm interested in is just getting together for 2 hours, just talking about it and not leave with an action plan. We're going to leave with an action plan, and now we're going to implement the action plan.
That's what I'm talking about.
Be there.
Okay, so if you're in the Atlanta area, be there, the Gathering Spot, Monday night, 6 p.m., did you say?
Monday night, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. So be there, Monday night, 7 p.m. One thing, and I love how you're in it for entrepreneurship. I love the drive and the go-getting that you have. What I like the most, though, is that you work with the youth to help get them in a place.
Right.
To understand what entrepreneurship is all about.
Right.
Tell us about your company. Is it a nonprofit or is it a company? I Am Breaking the Cycle.
Gotcha. So I Am Breaking the Cycle is actually not a nonprofit. A lot of people tell me I need to make it a nonprofit. I just haven't put the time into it. So my main company, we basically fund it. Through our company and then to our network of individuals who like invest and like, you know, donate and stuff like that. So my go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, what are some of the things you guys are doing for the youth in the community?
So we do an event every year for teaching them. It's called I Am Breaking the Cycle. The last one we switched is called Young Wealthy Genius. So just showing them how all children are geniuses. A lot of times we kind of pull that out of them because we tell them that's unrealistic. You know, go do this. You're gonna be a doctor.
So true.
But they want to do other things. They want to create. We're naturally creators, right? We're naturally geniuses.
Right.
So we do these events just to kind of help cultivate that, basically, and show them how to do it. So I bring my resources. So I find out what is it that you want to do. They may say I want to box, so I want to do this, or I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, great. If I don't know how to do it, I got resources. I can pick up a phone, and I can pretty much contact anybody I need to contact with to line them with the resources.
Right.
So that's the whole purpose of the thing, and really just showing them, because a lot of these young brothers, they're not robbing and selling drugs because that's what they want to do.
Right.
They're only doing what they know. So we can show them how to make money legitimately. They're all for it. Even the ones who like got the tattoos on their face, the ones who you might, if you see them walking down the street, you'll go on the other side. It's like those little dudes, they just don't know.
Right.
So when you take the time and like have a conversation with them, you'll be surprised.
But
when you line them with the resources, now they like, okay, I'm open to that. So if we go to the hood and we go to the block and we can't say, hey, look, man, y'all need to get off the hood, get off the block, and go get a job.
Right.
You go out there and say, look, bro, you get a whole ounce of weed or an ounce of crack and you sell it, you only make this, but you can be doing real estate and make this. Now they're like, oh, I can make money in real estate and not go to jail and they can't take it from me. I'm like, yeah. They like, show me how. But if we go out there and say, stop selling crack, go get a job, they're like,
you're not really showing them what they need to do.
Right, exactly. So now they're looking at you and they're like, well, you ain't living like how. So as us as adults, we got to make sure we're being we got to make sure we're being in the role, the example. Right. Like they're like, yeah, you telling me to go do what you do, but you saying you struggling.
Yeah.
Like when I was growing up, our uncles They wouldn't even give us $5 for the candy lady. Well, $1 for the candy lady. We're like, can we get $1 for the candy lady? They're like, I'm broke. Like, how you work all week and you broke? So why would we follow that system? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it just don't make sense. And that's the conversation that we have with these young guys.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I like to hear that. I like to hear that. The other day you made a post on Facebook and it says, I was reading an article on Forbes, that post.
Okay.
And of course it said, according to Bloomberg, 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs who start businesses fail within the first 18 months. And that's 80% of businesses that crash and burn before they even get started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now being that you've been in the entrepreneur world for a while, why do you think that is?
I think it's a lack of understanding how to attract leads. How do you get leads and convert them into clients? That's the biggest thing. So you got to understand how do I get customers? You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't understand marketing, you're dead in the water, right? So it's like hamburgers. You probably know somebody who can make some really good hamburgers.
Right.
A lot of places in the hood make really good hamburgers, but you don't know about them. But when you think hamburgers, you think McDonald's, because they got the marketing thing together. So it's the marketing 100%. It really understanding how do I get leads and how do I convert them into customers and clients on a consistent basis. That's why you see a lot of business go out and get investors and they get funding and all that, because they don't know how to get customers, so they don't know how to create revenue.
Right.
So when you understand how to create customers and leads, mainly leads, and convert them into customers, that's how you stay in business. That's the biggest thing. So underfunded, basically.
Okay. See, y'all see that answer? Y'all see that answer? I know a lot of people are not really tuned in when we have these entrepreneur conversations.
Right.
But it's much needed information
For
because
sure.
it can teach you how to do something different, something
100%.
better. I know when I first started network marketing years ago, the thing was quit your job and go network marketing and do business for yourself, but it doesn't always have to be that way because entrepreneurship is a skill set.
For sure.
You got to learn how to do it. So I don't recommend anybody go run and quit their job.
No. You got to do it right. You got to be strategic.
I recommend that you learn the skill set of entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Discover your passion. Discover what it is that you want to do. Make sure you know why you want to do what you want to do. Discover your passion. Get the much intended and needed skills and resources in order to start your own business.
Right.
Then go from there.
I agree.
And then go from there.
I agree.
Amazing. Why get started on entrepreneurship? I know you just gave some really good nuggets a few moments ago about how you started out and why it was beneficial for you, because you saw the difference. You saw that you can make just as much selling houses than crack cocaine.
Right.
But why? Give the kids, what is the reason you give the kids to really, really want to make a difference?
I would say the biggest why is that for control. So it's like control and like not only creating something now. So like when you like create something as an entrepreneur, you're a creator. It's something nobody can ever take from you, and it's something that you can build on long term. So it's like if you go get a job, for example, nothing wrong with a job. Like I always tell people, there's nothing wrong with a job. I just don't want one. But the biggest thing is if the job pulls the rug away from you today, you don't have any. So even if you got a job, have a business on the side just in case. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that revenue coming in. So if they come in and like, hey, we no longer need your services. It was nothing that you did. We just come back. And that's what technology is doing. It's like eliminating employees. It's eliminating need. And employees are the number one expense.
Right.
So businesses are always looking at how can we cut expenses. Employees go first. So you have a business to have some control.
Right.
So like that happens, okay, cool, we ain't tripping. We still got the business going on. So that's the biggest thing. And number two is like all the tax deductions and stuff like that. But even for the youth, I just showed them just the power of like, you can create what you want, you can have the life you want without tricking yourself off the street for this money.
Right.
Because a lot of these cats, especially in Atlanta, we'll use Atlanta for example. A buddy of mine posted earlier, a buddy of mine posted earlier where the most millionaires are in the world. So New York was like number one. Atlanta wasn't even on the list. Like all of the movies that have been done in Atlanta, all the stuff that's been done, all the businesses, we just got this brand new dome, and we're not even in the top 10 of millionaires. Like we went into the top 7 because he cut off at top 7. Like how weren't we there?
Wow.
Because in Atlanta we get so caught up on flossing and looking good and then like just lax and a limited mindset and all that different type of stuff. and we're not thinking about ownership.
That's right.
And that's the biggest thing, like ownership. Like if you're gonna be in the hood, like we killing each other over the hood. Like why y'all ain't buying no houses? Why y'all ain't figure out how do we get some of these houses, right? That's the biggest thing. So control, freedom, and they can't take it from you. Like when you had this asset, you don't got to worry about going to jail. You don't got to worry about getting robbed and all this different stuff. So that's really a few of the things.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Lee, please let me know. I'd like to know how to get involved in your organization to see where I can help and assist, because I think it's very important
I believe
that these youth are getting what they need.
For sure.
I was one of those at-risk youth. And look at me now, but at the same time, it took a lot of hard work.
For sure.
And as our youth are coming up, the later we wait to try to teach them these things, the harder it is.
Right.
The harder it is, because I know I was hard-headed by the time it got to me. I was like, they don't know what they talking about.
Right. I agree.
So we have to really tackle our youth, and that's what I admire about you.
I appreciate that.
Yes. So I want you to share with the audience what your favorite motivational quote is and what gets you going and fired up.
My favorite motivational quote is probably actually more of a poem kind of thing. So it's by Marianne Williamson, but I originally thought it was by Nelson Mandela. But it's basically, our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. Yes. It's not, that one. It's kind of long, but
it's all right. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, and that's one I read it pretty much every morning for the most part.
Yes.
It's really powerful.
Yes.
So anybody who's listening, Google our greatest fear and read that. It's powerful.
I'm going to do it right
really,
now so we can share with the audience.
Yes, definitely. So it's our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's not our light, but it's not our darkness, but it's a light. Something like that. I can't think of it right off, but that's one of them.
And my signal is not coming in good.
That's one of them. And then also one by Jim Rohn. I think it's the biggest one. One of my favorites is that you should work harder on yourself than you do on your job or your business.
Right.
Because the harder work you're going to do is on yourself.
I can't find it, guys. I tried, but look it up. I think that I know the one he's talking about.
Just type in our greatest fear, it'll pop up. So that's my favorite one from Jim Rohn. Work hard on yourself than you're doing your job. And also, traditional education will make you a living, but self-education makes you a fortune.
That's good. I like that.
For sure.
I like that. Well, guys, I hate to cut it too short. We're not cutting it too short. It's almost time to go anyway. But we are, once again, having fun down here at the Hosea Helps Back to School Jamboree. So there's a lot going on down here. I'm going to try to get some of these kids on live. They all want to hold the microphone. You know how kids are. So we're going to try to do that and help them out and give them something to shine about today. But I want to thank you for tuning in so I could introduce you to Mr. Mark Hitwell Russell. Tell them again about the gathering spot.
So, the gathering spot is going to be Monday. That's going to be, I would say get there at 6:30 because it's going to be a big turnout. Be there at 6:30, gathering spot right in the Georgia Tech area. And we're all about empowering the youth. We're all about bringing solutions for our community. Everybody else's community comes together and creates solutions. I'm going to give you a quick story. The Jewish community, so like for a Jewish young man, for them to be considered a young man, when they had a bar mitzvah, I think at 16, it's either 16 or 13, they have to read, they have to memorize the first part of the Torah or something like the first part of the Bible. And the biggest thing is they have to present their 100-year plan. We're at 13 to 16 years old. They got
100 years.
A 100-year plan. So like in our community, most people don't even have a 100-day plan, let alone a 100-year plan. They got to come up with a 100-year plan. And think about it. Jewish people run everything. They run the music industry, they run the sports, and they run everything. And they're the wealthiest community out of all of them. Why? Because they start off early. Like you got to have a 100-year plan when you're 13 to 16 years old.
Right.
And then when you present that at the bar mitzvah, not everybody else can get an idea of what you want to do. Now we can start aligning you with the resources
that you need right now
to be successful and start working
in all of those
thing.
Things.
Boom. So now it's nothing that's too big. You know what I'm saying? So when they was like, we're going to run the music industry, that wasn't too big. That's what they do. They run the hip-hop industry.
Right.
Jewish people, right? It's crazy. In any other industry as well, most of the industries. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest thing at the gathering spot. We're going to be like, helping these kids. What's your plan? What do you want to do? And then we're going to help you create a plan and line you with the resources, most importantly, to actually make it a reality. So that's what we're doing for our community. Be there. Because if we're not a part of the solution, we're part of the problem.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing just a little bit of you. Tell everyone how they can purchase your book so they can get them some business knowledge.
For sure. So you can go to IamBreakingTheCycle.com, and that's where you'll get the book, I Am Breaking the Cycle. All the proceeds go towards the I Am Breaking the Cycle program. So we're not making the money, right? We put it all back to the youth, to the community. So IamBreakingTheCycle.com, and you can go to MarquelRussell.com. MarquelRussell.com and get more information about this book. And I also got a free book over there. If you're in entrepreneurship, you want to get more clients and so forth, I got a free book over there called Clicks to Clients. You can get that for 100% free as well. So
that's what's up.
That's it.
More to come from Mr. Marquel Russell, though.
We're just getting warmed up.
He's just getting started. Okay, that's what they say. I'm getting started.
Right.
Oh, I forgot where I was. Okay, so before I end today, how I would like to close, I want to leave you guys with think good thoughts. Is that good? That's good. Think good thoughts. Philippians 4 verses 8 says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, is there any excellence? If there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So that's my verse for today, because I have clients who forevermore tell me that it's not easy to just be positive all the time. How are you always positive, Coach Stacy? That's not something that's easy to do. When really, it is.
It is.
You just have to think good thoughts.
True.
That's it. There's no secret recipe. There's nothing different than you and me or you and him. You just think good thoughts. And as a matter of fact, I was the same way at one time. I remember praying, God, I just can't go on fighting my thoughts all day. Every time I turn around, some negative comes into my mind or something has happened. And as soon as I'm thinking something good, then the wrong thoughts, they come back. What am I supposed to do while I'm fighting this battle? How am I supposed to think something good? And God just kind of slowly let me know that the simple solution is just to think about something else.
Right.
Ain't that simple?
It's that simple.
It's just
that simple.
It's just like think about something else.
Right.
I'm like,
It's that simple.
When you think about something good, there's no room for wrong thoughts to get into your mind. Okay, concentrating on trying, and here's the thing, you waste a lot of energy on trying not to think good stuff too.
Sure.
Stop concentrating on trying not to and just think good thoughts.
Right.
You know, you can actually increase your good thoughts, but simply filling your mind with good things leaves no room for bad things to get in. Galatians 5:16 says that if we walk in the Spirit, we will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And this simply just means that if we concentrate on the things God desires, then we will not have room in our lives for what Satan desires. This was a profound revelation for me. I just realized I couldn't wait for something good to just fall into my mind. I had to make sure that my positive thoughts came on purpose.
Right.
That's amazing, ain't it?
Amazing.
The Bible also says in Deuteronomy 30:19 that God sets before us life and death, blessings and curses. If you and I do not choose thoughts that lead to life, the enemy will make the choice for us. And he will choose thoughts that will lead us to death. But when we choose thoughts that lead to life, our lives will be blessed. We have to take time to roll good thoughts over and over in our mind, and it will help us form the habit of thinking good things. I know it sounds like a broken record, but guys, just think good thoughts. Think good thoughts. Think good thoughts. Okay, guess what, y'all? That's all I got for today. You have been listening and watching Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. And I thank you guys for joining. Another shout out to all my loves out there. And we will see you again next week.